Marcellus Sports Shooting Stars will bring the game to you. And we got another big one this Friday as the York High Bearcats travel to Dallastown to go against the Wildcats. Right now, I got Coach Stoner on from the York High Bearcats. Coach, thanks for jumping on with me today.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful morning here. Finally have a fall morning here in York, PA. So I'm excited for it. Feels like football.
It does feel like football, and you're right. Fall in York County, I always feel like we get shafted a little bit. It's a little too quick. So soak it all in, Coach.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, you're in your 10th season now at Bearcat Den and looking for the third straight win after coming off the bye. Coach, your last two games have been phenomenal. A gigantic win over Northeastern, 91-0 on that one, 52-20 against Red Lion, the Lions. How do you keep that momentum going here to this Friday?
Well, honestly, I wasn't, the Northeastern game, that's not something that I'm going to ever point to and say I'm proud of, right? Simply because we're not trying to embarrass anybody. I mean, one of my best friends is on that staff, and we have kids on that team that are part of our CAP program. But it was almost a perfect storm. There's lots of turnovers. We played all of our kids on our football team, and I give credit to the Northeastern players. They just keep on battling, and I know their numbers are dwindling. So, and then the Red Lion game, honestly, I wasn't happy with the way we played. And I think that that's one of the things that people don't get about me. I'm not, like my job is to win football games as we're teaching young men how to be young men, and also to teach them that we're after what's called perfection, right? And even though I know we'll never, ever, ever achieve perfection, it doesn't mean we don't chase it, right? And so I have, there's lots of people in the county that don't like me, and there's lots of people that think I'm some kind of way, but honestly, they don't know who I am at all. And at this point in my career, nor do I care to get to know them. I am who I am, and the people that I have surrounded myself with, and my friends and my family and the players that I've coached in the past, I've done my best for, and I'm not going to apologize for anything. So the next thing is going to be this: coming off of a bye. I think it's very crappy that we're in a league that doesn't take, like, you're part of a league for a reason, right? You're part of a league for a league to help take care of you. And I think between us and Central, we have really had a short end of our league protecting us and helping us, right? Central should not be traveling out to Ohio to play one of the nation's best, right? We should not be trying to find a game in the middle of the season, considering the only teams that are available for that are, again, teams that are, how do I see this? The St. Joe's Preps, LaSalle College, IMGs, all of those schools are available, but there's a reason for that. They're all private, they're privately funded, all of those things. It's a very simple thing. Division II, we just need to have Division II crossovers here in York County. And, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, our league needs to take care of us as part. And it's frustrating. So none of us want to have a bye, right? But none of us. I play a really tough schedule up front every year. We play really good football teams, and
Yeah.
We play teams from the Mid Penn. We play teams from the LL. I've been out to Pittsburgh. We played teams from Pittsburgh. Teams from Pittsburgh have come here to play us. I mean, so we don't need to play another team that's nationally ranked in the middle of the season, especially when we're going to go play the Dallastowns. We're going to go play the Southwesterns, the Spring Groves, and then the Central Yorks. So for me, the bye is a very, very, very tough thing to manage, with teenagers, and especially teenagers in York City. We did a good job last week. We kind of always have had a plan, but our kids get ripped off. We get 9 games a year, we get 9 guaranteed games a year. And that just steals games from kids. And that's the other thing that coaches don't understand around here. So when we're in it playing against the team that's not as competitive, is it really fair for my kids to sit on the bench
Right.
because their team's not competitive? So again, a lot of this has to do with our league, and we need to get that squared away. And again, I think I'm probably the oldest. The oldest. Well, I know I'm the oldest in terms of years coaching here in York County. I have to be. I can't imagine I'm not. This is year 30 for me. But anyway, back to my team and our kids. I mean, our kids have been ready to play since last week. And here's one of the things again people don't understand. Our football team is extremely young.
Yeah.
We play four seniors, and we two other guys might get on the field here and there, but at the end of the day, the entire defense, we have two seniors on defense, and we have three, sometimes maybe four, play on offense. But we're trying to get better. We're trying to live out the dreams that all of the coaches in our league, all of the players in our league are after, and that's a championship.
Yeah, well, man, I didn't realize you guys are that young. I know you got some sophomore players and that, but that is only having four seniors that are playing. That's
well, you have Trevor Lee on the offensive line. You have Nige Still at quarterback. You have Shavane Anderson at running back, and then you have Amani Bones that plays like our shoot back on offense. And then we have everybody else are really everybody else are sophomores. And then on defense, you have Trevor Lee playing on the defensive line, and you have Bones playing linebacker, and then every once in a while, Shavane goes in and plays DB for us. So, and then everybody else on that defense are sophomores and juniors. So we have some freshmen that are getting time yet as well, and so we're still learning. They're still learning the game of football. They're still learning time management. They're still learning all those things. So yeah, I'm extremely happy with them. And Marcellus, when I tell you this, you're going to be like, what? So our district, we have the toughest grading. We have the toughest grading piece in all of. I can't imagine it can't be the state. Our kids all have to have a 70% or higher in every class in order to participate in sports. Okay, so think about that. You are a kid that's in Alge 2, right? And you are not a great math student, and you're doing everything you can, and you bomb a test on a Tuesday. You have all E's and B's in all the other classes you take, but all of a sudden you have a D, a 68% in Alge 2. Who hasn't had a D in Alge 2?
right. I know I have.
And now you can't play, right?
Mm.
So our kids go to study hall every day, okay? Our kids go to the weight room 2 days a week. Our kids do a leadership meeting every Monday. Our kids go through a mental health piece every Thursday. We do recruiting on Tuesdays. It's a long day. But here's the crazy part. We have 60 kids on our roster. 48 of them have all E's and B's.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So when I tell you I celebrate a lot of things, what I celebrate more than anything is jumping over hurdles that people put in front of us that just make us better. So
that's awesome. And I gotta applaud you on that. I remember on social media, I saw a comment one time where somebody was like, let's take York High's football team test scores and compare it to so-and-so. And
I'd love to.
You responded back. You said, I would love to do that. And that's exactly why what you just said right there.
And that's been happening for years. I mean, our kids, we have valedictorians that played football for us. And, our kids take our kids are taking tough classes. They work at it. And myself and my staff and our teachers and our guidance department, they help do all of that. And that's just it's teaching them how to be a student, but it's a long day. Getting to school at 7:30 and not leaving until 7:30 at night is a long day.
Wow. Well, and it's like you said, you've been there 10 years, 30 years coaching in the league and in the area, coach. But I know you mentor your own kids, but obviously with accountability for life, you're often going against some of the kids on the other team that are part of your program.
Sure.
Talk a little bit about that, Coach, and are any of the Dallastown? I'm sure there's been over the years Dallastown players.
We currently only have Dallastown kids that are freshmen in
Okay.
in the CAP program, but I'm familiar. Like Wadeen was one of my kids. He played at York High, transferred to Central. Now he's at Dallastown. The quarterback used to. It was funny. It's funny because he would come to my clinics when I was hosting them. When I was hosting them at the Hanover Y and at Heritage Hills back in the day. And now, he was a Central kid then. Now he's the Dallastown quarterback. So, I mean, it's what I love about it is this. And listen, trust me, there's a lot of people don't like that we're doing it. But what I love about it is I love kids, right? I love watching kids win. I know how difficult the recruiting situation is, and I know how difficult it is to be a teacher. And most of the coaches in the county are teachers first, and they're working all day long, and then they're getting their own players in the weight room and doing all of those things. And sometimes the thing that falls down is the recruiting piece, right? And there are no brainers that have played in York County. Like Bo Perbula is a no brainer.
Right.
Mike McGonigal, Michael Hershey, Jaheim White. Those guys were all no brainers. But it's the kids that still want to play college football that are Division III and Division II guys that we really try to help locate and find a home for them, right? And so it's cool to build relationships with the kids from and listen, Marcel, we have an online process that we actually have 4 kids from the UK in our program now.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, we have
crazy.
kids throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania. We have an online. We're getting ready to have a hybrid program that you can come in 1 day a week or 2 days a week. We have a complete online program, and then we have a full in-person program. So again, it's the ability to network with all the college coaches that we know, and it's something that I have a whole team that works doing that. And along the way, we also offer a leadership program. We offer the college tours, and we offer the mega practice. We offer lots of other things. So what I tell the kids when we're playing against somebody that we also work with, I tell them I expect their best performance the night they play us, right? And I said, obviously, I want to win, but I want you to play your best against us because that's what I expect, right? And we have gotten that. OG Numa played his butt off at Central or at Northeastern. We played against them. All the Red Line kids. We have five Red Line players that come to, including Mason Platts. Mason worked his tail off against us. Mason is a really the growth I've seen in him over 2 years is incredible as a human being, as a person. And we're not trying to replace anybody's head coach. We're not trying to replace anybody's coaching staff. We're simply here to help kids through a crazy process. And let's face it, in today's world, who doesn't want to have more positive people around their kids?
Yeah.
So, and we're not telling kids to miss practices or not go to their strength and conditioning or whatever. And a matter of fact, a lot of times we try to accommodate the kids so they don't miss any of those things. So at the end of the day, to me, it's a great program. And again, Marcellus, I just said to you earlier, I'm not apologizing for anything that I do.
Yeah.
I put my head on my pillow every night and go to bed really, really easily, soundly. So, but when you talk about Dallastown's football team, Wadine's having a really good year. Wadine's a really good football player. Camardi, I think he's a next level football player at running back. I think Cody Kistner can sling the ball with the best of them. He's a really, really good high school quarterback. You have length in receivers. You have skill sets in their receivers. Their offensive line obviously knows what they're doing. I love 11, 22, 74. I mean, I can go on and on about the kids that I like in their program, and I expect nothing more than a complete, utter dogfight on Friday night.
Well, it could be a cat fight, could be a dog fight, but it's going down this Friday.
I guess it would be a cat fight. My fault. Yeah.
Coach, I know everybody wants to talk about Anderson, and he's coming in with over 600 yards, 12 touchdowns already. Talk a little bit about what people don't see on the field, and obviously you got a lot of talent with Bones back there, and how you kind of bring that in, and talk a little bit about some of those seniors.
Well, really, Shavane, what people don't realize, you see lots of kids with like lots of offers, right? So all those offers are great, but typically when a kid gets an offer early, right? None of those offers are what's called committable. Like they can't say you can commit right now, right? So Shavane's, like no one wants to admit this, but Shavane's numbers fell off last football season because he was running behind 5 freshmen. Okay. And 2 of those guys never played football before.
Wow.
So once his numbers fell off, people were like, huh. And all of a sudden, the transfer portal doesn't help, right? So the transfer portal, everybody started to pull guys out of the transfer portal. And all of a sudden, Shavane really had no home. So late in the summer, I sat down with Shavane and his mom, and I said, look, we need to find you a Division II home. And we need to start to think about the possibility of Division II and then transferring out of Division II, right? So obviously, mentally, that was hard to hear, right? Because he's worked every day for the last 3 years to be what he is right now, right? And I don't have all the answers. I just know that that's what we're being told by all these college coaches. Hey, we went a different way, da da da. But I also said in that meeting, I said, but Shavane, I'm just telling you, if you do what you're capable of doing the first 3 weeks of the season, I think you'll have opportunities come back around, right? So fast forward the CD East game, and obvious, I think we could have won that game, but essentially, our quarterback and half of our team literally cramped up that we had 2 kids go to the hospital during that game. Then we're leading that game at halftime, and I think we would have won that game if that wouldn't have happened. But fast forward, Shane had a great game, but wasn't like, wow. But fast forward to the Hempfield game, and fast forward to 48 seconds left in the game, and we're down by 8 points, and they decide to punt to Shavane, and Shavane catches the ball and goes 95 yards for a touchdown. And then on top of it, I said, we called timeout. I said, what do you want? And they're like, run the ball. I said, Shavane, do you want it? He goes, oh, I want it. He he barrels his way in for the 2-point conversion. We tie the score. There's, 15 seconds left in the game at this point. We go to overtime. We stop them in four plays, and I put him at receiver. And I said, what do you want? And he goes, Najee knows what I want. And the way the kid lined up, I just smiled because I knew we were going to win the game. And in that 48 seconds of just that 48 seconds, got the offer to be committable at Syracuse.
That's awesome. Jeez.
And that's the truth. That's the honest to God's truth. And then the way he played against Manheim Township, we had Manheim Township on the ropes. We really did. I think they were rather shocked the way we came out and played. Our kids played extremely physical and fast, and we gave up a touchdown late in the game, but that's because we called a timeout. It was our last timeout, and I told the kids to let them score so we get the ball back, and then we ended the game with the ball on their 30-yard line going in. So Shavane. So for me, I'm more proud about Shavane of what student he's become. I'm proud of the perseverance, because there's a lot of kids, if all of a sudden you're being touted as an FBS guy and you've been on all the visits and you're at all the camps and doing all that stuff, and all of a sudden everything kind of dries up on you, and then your head coach challenges you for the first 3 games that you're going to have to really, and then you do it. It's a fairy tale. It's life-changing for him and his family. I couldn't be more proud of him. And, I can't wait to watch him continue to grow as a person.
Wow, man, that might be one of my favorite question and answers right there. All doing this there, Coach. That's pretty awesome. And people that know you, Coach, have nothing but respect for you and know you're as competitive as they come. and man, just putting your heart and soul. And like you mentioned, your family. I know your daughter helps you out. How's the quarterback, man? How's your son doing?
He's doing well. He's a backup at Cal right now. He's redshirting this year. At least we think that's what's going to happen. And he still has 2 years left. Their first game, they didn't played that Thursday of the Thursday of the Hempfield game. So he came home and got to the stadium the second half. He actually called the game-winning touchdown pass in overtime.
Wow.
So his aspirations is to be a college football coach. So him and I spend lots of time, and he didn't play with Army men. He played with growing up. He played with football figurines.
Nice.
So and then against Manheim Township. They didn't play. They didn't play. I can't remember why he was home on that weekend. Why was he home? Maybe that was actually the weekend of that Thursday night game. They're 2 weeks behind us. Yeah, then he came home and he was on the boundary with us with a headset on, and he helps all summer long. He knows exactly what our offense is, and so it's fun to have him around. My daughter is the aquatics director down at the Shrewsbury Y now.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's been my the water girl since she was in, I think, 7th grade, and she continues to do it now. And obviously my wife, Coach Mom, she's pretty incredible with what she does with our team, and like the junior high players absolutely love her. She goes to the junior high games, whether they're home or away. And she takes care of everything that we're doing. So, and then I have an unbelievable staff. I have most of my staff either played for me, or coached with me, or actually coached me. Lots of people don't know this right now, but Coach Brad Livingston is helping us. Brad is doing stuff with video and special teams, and sends me reports and does our stats and all of those things. And I couldn't be happier that I have Brad back in my fold. One of my dearest friends, and it's been good. It's been real good.
Well, man, hats off to you, Coach. And I can't wait to this Friday night. The Bearcats traveling to Dallastown to go against the Wildcats. Coach, I really appreciate you jumping on here. I hope we'll do it again. I know don't want to look ahead, but I know there's big games coming down the road as well.
Well, we'll have to get you over to AFL and get you on the Beyond the Whistle podcast. We'll bring you in. Yeah. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Matty G and I do that. We just did it over our bye week. But we'll wait till the season's over. But I'll give you a call and we'll get together. But we appreciate what you guys do, and it was fun to see Turpac last week or 2 weeks ago. John and I grew up playing sports against one another, so it was fun to see John there, and he's doing great things with S3, and so lots of really great people doing lots of great things here in York County, and I'm proud of what we do here in York. So hats off to you guys, and God bless.
Thank you, man. Sports Shooting Stars.
We bring the game to you.